What is up, web-based wombats? Welcome back to my channel, and today in our Settlers series we are focusing on the Fisherman. Look at this guy with his fancy mustache, and I'm very happy to have the illustration of focus on the Fisherman today. So what this guy does is he goes, he finds some water, and then he will fish for a while, and once he's finished fishing he will take the fish back to his hut, drop it off, and then it gets taken back to headquarters. Fish, of course, one of the food groups that miners will use, so that's why we're going to focus on this guy. The first thing we're going to figure out is how far he will travel for water. Now, if we look at this guy, focused on his hut, we can see that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 steps away from the water, and this guy's never going to come out. He can't get to water. 9 from the hut, 10 from the flag. Down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 from the hut, 9 from the flag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And again, this guy never going to come out. So if it was from the hut, like you'd think it would be 10. I've done some experimentation, figured out it's not from the hut for the Fisherman, it's from the flag. You can see that we've rebuilt this Fisherman's hut. He's come to this corner. This is the only corner he can come to. It's the only water he can reach. And from the flag, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 from the flag, 9 from the house. So 8 from the flag. And up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 from the house, 9 from the flag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this guy is 8 from the house. The other guy is 10 from the sorry, the other guy is also 9 from the house. This guy can make it because it's actually from the flag. You have to be 8 steps away from the flag for this to work. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 from the flag for this guy. So the Fisherman, different from the quarry worker, different from the woodcutter, because his distance is from the flag. The Fisherman will also go around obstacles to get to a bit of water that's 8 away. So you can see this man has travelled, well, he could get to this area down here within 8 from the flag, and but he's had to travel the long way around, so at least 15 journeys, making it much longer to get there, but then back he goes. He'll take a long journey, as long as it's not totally blocked, he'll take a long journey. So that's our Fisherman. So knowing this, we've set up an experiment. We've selected 3 spots of water which can only be reached by these 3 fishermen's huts, and this fisherman's hut can only get to here because he's exactly 8 spots away. There's no other water within 8 journeys. Similarly here for these 2 respectively, they can only go to 1 spot of water, and we're going to see exactly how many fish come from each spot of water. When the fishermen get here, they should be on their way. Yeah, there they are. Then they'll start fishing, and we're going to store their fish in this storehouse which has 0 fish in it. So we should be able to see exactly how many fish we get from each, and we'll count them together. So let's speed this up and make sure our experiment is working, and then see exactly how many fish we get. The last thing that we're going to do, just to make sure there's absolutely no contamination, is cut off this storehouse so only fish coming into this storehouse will count. Let's set that up, and we should see fish start coming in. So there they are, they're each going to their assigned spot. 1, 2, 3 fish. Alright, and here we go again, they come down to their assigned spot. 1, 2, 3. So that's 7 fish each. We've seen them do 7 fish each, and now you see no resources found. All 3 of them have run out on exactly 7, and now there's 21 fish in our storehouse. So can we assume that every spot has exactly 7, or maybe every fisherman can fish inner spot that has 7. So let's see if we can figure that out. Destroy this fisherman's hut. Yep. He's gone back into here, so now we'll cut that road off. So that's now isolated, and the fisherman that we had before is in there. We'll build another fisherman's hut. We'll isolate this as well, but the way that we'll do it is by going up to here. So this is a new fisherman's hut. Is he going to be able to fish from this area? Here he comes, and he's not coming out. So it looks as though every spot has exactly 7 fish available. And yeah, we can see he's not coming out. So once the 7 fish are depleted, that's it, no more fish. I do wonder if this is the same for different maps. So if this is true for a nice green map like this, is it true for a fiery map? So what I've done is I've set up 8 fishermen's huts to try and fish out completely the 16 spots that are available on this map. And we have started off with 8 fish, so 16 times 7 is 112. So if we get exactly the right number, we should get 120 fish eventually. Now what I want to point out are these guys fishing in exactly the same spot. This is going to be important at the end when we come to the final count, because I believe that something odd happens there. We'll explain more in a minute. So you see, we've got to 120. Now we're going over that. We've got to 122. You see how everybody's fishing at this spot. That's important. So we're up to 127, 128, and I think it's going to stop there. 128. So we've got 8 extra fish. How did that happen? Well, if a fisherman leaves his fisherman's hut, he will definitely come back with a fish. He never goes out and doesn't find a fish. When there's no fish available, he already knows and doesn't leave his hut. So what I believe is happening here to get those 8 extra fish is when the last fish is available in a spot. If 2 guys go out from 2 different fishermen's huts to the same spot and start fishing at the same time, or overlap at all, then they get an extra fish each. So it can be up to 8, or if 5 guys are fishing at the same spot, then they get 4 additional fish. Because once they've chosen it, if the fish was available at the start, they definitely get a fish at the end. So you can slightly increase the number of fish, but in general it's a 7 unless you're doing something crazy like this. So yeah, how is this useful? How can we figure out where to put our fishermen's huts? Well, the first thing to note is that not all water has fish in it. This swamp water, for example, doesn't have any fish in it. This fisherman has never gone out to either of these places, which was a surprise to me. But good to know that swamp water does not give you fish. So a perfect spot like this, which would have given you access to so many water spots, actually isn't perfect at all. Doesn't help in the least. Up here you can see this phenomenon in action. The fisherman's very happy to travel over this ground to get to the fresh water. He's never going to go to the swamp water. So where do we want to build our fisherman's hut? Well, to my way of thinking, as close to as many sources of water as possible. So here we've got access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, possibly 17 spots of water. You can see that the fisherman doesn't care about roads, doesn't care about flags, doesn't care about anything really. As long as he can reach water and sit down, he's going to do so. So if we've got 17 spots of water, that's 127 fish that this guy is going to fish for us, and frankly that's going to be enough for a whole game. There's loads of good spots on different maps for fishermen to get to. If you need fish really quickly, you can overlap them, of course, just to know you're not going to get more fish overall. You're going to get the same amount of fish, you're just going to get them a little bit quicker if you build, for example, houses here. No, well, wherever I could build a house. So, yeah, placing your fisherman's hut should be as close to a large body of water as possible. You don't want to overfish, but know that you're not actually losing anything by by overfishing. You're still going to get the same amount of fish in the end. You just get them quicker, and so you might as well set up all your fishermen as soon as possible. The obviously an island, harbour areas where you go to get once you get ships, good areas for fishermen. Let's see how quickly he fishes and do our time trials. So as per usual, we did a number of observations. This time I did 7 observations because I cut the video off before I got to the 8th by accident. That's fine, it all came out very standard. So what I did again, just looked at what the fisherman does. He exits, then he starts fishing after a journey. He catches a fish. The fish is available when he drops it at his flag. Then he then enters his house and he rests. Very standard, so 35, 36 seconds from when he starts fishing to when he actually catches the fish. The rest time is exactly 2 minutes each time, so after he goes into his house, he'll wait there for 2 minutes and then he'll exit his house again. The difference happens when he goes different distances from the flag, and so I recorded those as well. And the average time per journey, by per journey I mean per stage of his journey, so from point to point, is between 3 and 4 seconds. So it comes out at 4 seconds going, 3 seconds returning, probably because of the up and the down, and so about 7 seconds altogether coming and going per stage. So you can see that if he has to go further, so if he has to go a distance of 8, then his total journey will take 3 minutes and 38 seconds. And so to fish all 7 of those fish that are a distance of 8 away, that would be 25 minutes, 25 and a half minutes. And looking at our previous example, the example that we had, which had 17 spots to fish in, we did the total cumulative. So it would take, well, you'd get 119 fish altogether, that's the first thing, and it would take you about 6 hours and 21 minutes to get all of those fish. See, it's not particularly different per journey, so you could pretty much average that out to about 3 minutes and 12 seconds for every fish, to get every fish with the fisherman's hut. So why is that important? It's important because we need to know how quickly the miners will use up the fish, and that way we'll know how many fishermen we need in order to satisfy our miners and keep them producing at the rate that they need to be producing at. Things to remember: they go 8 from the flag, not from the house. They will travel around obstacles, but it makes their journeys longer, so your average would go down. They're happy to fish from a road or a flag, it doesn't matter, you can't place obstacles in their way, so you can't limit their fishing either. They will get 7 per spot, so the amount of fish that you're going to get is very much dependent on how many spots are available to those fishermen, and if you place multiple fishermen, they're still going to fish the same amount of fish, just quicker. Thank you for watching my video. I hope this has been useful to you. Next time we've got a walkthrough of the 6th level, I think, and it's the first one that I struggled with, I'll say that way. And then after that we'll focus on the stone mine. Have a lovely day. See you then.